All right. So now I've grown and apparently believe in shit I used to hate. All right. So here's how it works out. Let's start from as far back as I remember. The first time existentialism became a word of my life. So this is English class back in high school. So we're talking like 2004 or 5 or 6 or something like that. English teacher was Mr. Damon Larson in Parker, Colorado. If you know him, go send him a message right now. Say, hi, you smell pretty, or something cool like that. So we studied existentialism, and the book we read, we read 2 books. Albert Camus' The Stranger, which I literally don't remember at all. I read it, took the test or whatever, and erased it from my memory. And the other one was Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. And I also um don't much remember much about that. I don't remember. I remember like hearing the thoughts, the ideas going, that's stupid, or I don't care. So I did the bare minimum to get an A, and that's about it. And probably have made fun of existentialism a bit over it. Existential crisis is a word we use a lot, but never really delved into it. So last night I'm talking, and um, someone's telling me about, so I file my nails. I have a nail file all the time. If you're close to me, you know that I in my pocket there's always nail clippers to file my nails. So they're like that might come from a past life and like a past trauma of not being able to pray properly in your religion or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you know what? And I've said this a few times over the past 6 months. Not everything has to have a reason. It doesn't always like not everything has to be, oh, God did this, God wanted that, the earth, whatever you believe in doesn't always have to have a reason. Sometimes things just are. She's like, oh yeah, okay, like interesting point. All right. She believes in, a little bit of astrology and a little more like I guess physical, I guess physical, the alignment of the planets and energies of that. And then you have all the religious people who believe in that, and then you have atheists who believe nothing. So I guess existentialism is a little bit like atheism. So I would say I'm not fully existentialist, but I do think that sometimes things like sometimes things just happen and they don't have to be explained by God or by nature or by astrology or by Hindu gods or Greek gods or Christian God. I feel like sometimes things just are. I don't know. The randomness of nature is kind of beauty. The chaos of nature is just kind of beautiful sometimes. And so yeah, I mean, I see it a lot with like personality. You have someone. Let's try to break this down. So you have someone that's, you know, how much break this down? Like even mindset. You see people there. I mean, a lot of it can be described by nature versus nurture, and a little bit of both. But sometimes, like people, yeah, like personalities. People are just different. Like I like horror movies. Some people don't. It doesn't have to be like, oh, when you were a kid, clowns scared the shit out of you, or one time a clown you saw a clown stab someone, and so now you hate clowns. Like, sure, that could be it for some people, but some people just don't like being scared, which is totally cool. We don't have to have past lives or stars aligning or almighty deities being like this person. This is why this person hates horror movies. Like it can just be that they just don't like horror movies. And that's just how it is. If there is a god or group of gods or nature or reincarnation, it's hard for me to fathom that they are paying attention to every tiny detail. Like think of the millions of decisions you make, billions of decisions you make. I mean, I wish I had this stat. I think they say you make like 26,000 decisions every day. Do you really think that like your god or your gods are like helping you with all 26,000? Like, do I rub this way? Do I rub over here? Do I rub up? Do I rub down? Like, I don't think they give a shit. I don't know. I think maybe the course of life could be, I mean, there's predetermination, there's freedom with, goodwill and whatnot, depending on your religion. But it's hard for me to imagine that somebody cares so much about 26,000 decisions every day that they're going to help align and show you signs and this and that. I think greater picture, you could argue that, and I would believe that. I mean, we all know there's something, whether it's energy or spirits or God. There's something that connects everyone, and almost everyone believes it. Even atheists believe in chance and happenstance, and everyone puts a different name to it, divine intervention, whatever. But sometimes some things, I don't think that they are. I think they just are. It's just what is. Like how does a lizard pick which cricket to eat? I think it just does. It just, you know, science might be like, oh, the closest one or the weakest one or this or that. And sure, that might be right sometimes. But sometimes I feel like the lizard just looks over, sees a bigger one or one that, I don't know, it just sees one and it goes, I want that one, and eats that cricket. And mm, I don't think that there's any god or energies or spirits that care enough that they're going to start predetermining all these decisions out there, or at least, Christianity, you get freedom to make your decisions, and God shows you signs and tries to guide you and help you. And I think that maybe on the big decisions, but I don't think the position of me sitting in this chair has anything to do with anything massive. I think I just am sitting because it's just what's comfortable for me, and have probably moved 5 or 6 times, and I don't think it has anything to do with my past life or my current life or my mental status or anything. I think it just is. So now I have to go spend time and do a deep dive on what the fuck existentialism is and how much I actually think that. And I already ordered those two stupid books that were freaking stupid back in high school. So, yes, Mr. Larson, your teachings are now coming back 15 years later, and I am rereading the books that I pretended to read and never read during class. I'm finally doing my homework, Mr. Larson, from I think he was 11th grade, maybe 12th grade. I'm doing my homework from junior year of high school. Oh, that's funny to think of. It's funny because as soon as I said, I was like, I hear what you're saying. You think that my past life makes me always file my nails or something. Sure, that could be far greater embeddings into my DNA, my being, my soul. Sure, absolutely, that's a possibility. There could be, a lot of people like chew their nails for like nervous tick, but like I file them pretty much 24/7. Has nothing to do with nervousness. So maybe there's something else in there. Okay, possibly. But then there's just the thought of, yeah, just like short nails, and I just like to file them. And it's just that's just how I was built. That's just how my brain works. My brain likes the feeling of filing my nails, and it just is. Maybe there is no great explanation. Maybe there is no like traumas and this and that. Maybe we're overdoing all that. And maybe sometimes things just fucking are. You don't have to think about the whys and the hows and the past and this and that. Maybe it just is. It just is. We just accept that, live with that, and move on. And maybe we need a little bit more of that in our lives these days. Just a little bit more of accepting it as is instead of spending hours or days and dollars on therapies and shamans and guides trying to figure out why we do certain things. Maybe that's just who we are. That just is what we is, and it's not doesn't need to be, and it can't be explained by anything specific. Well, that's all my thoughts for the day. Hopefully today's the best day of your life.